Hi, welcome to another Derek Does. Today we're going to do an update on this. Hi, welcome back again to Derek Does. Today I'm going to be talking about this 1978 Motobecane Mobylette that I picked up last year. If you remember, if you watch my channel, I did some videos on a previous one that I restored, and I wanted to get another one so my son and I could ride around this summer. I couldn't do anything this winter because my garage has no insulation, and in Colorado it gets below zero a lot, so it was very cold. But I was going to kind of show you everything I've done so far. It's been kind of hot in the garage now because there's no insulation, so it gets pretty warm. But I've been able to work on this a little bit between other projects, and I'm going to kind of show you where I've gotten so far, what I still need to do, but I'm hoping within a couple weeks I'm going to get this running, and we should be able to go for a ride before August. So this is a 1978 Motobecane. I don't know what the official color is called. My previous video, I guess if you saw those, if you want to go back and look at those, that was on a gold colored Motobecane that I restored, and I got that one locally because I had put it, actually, a guy had just posted, I think I told you the story, a guy had posted it for $75. He had stopped riding it in the late 80s, I think, and it just sat in a shed, and so I totally took the whole thing apart and I redid everything on that bike. This one I found also locally. This is from a lady owner who bought it new. The other one was a gentleman, he bought it new also, and she rode it back in the 80s until I think she hit something because the front axle was all bent, and after that she stopped riding it, and it kind of just sat in her garage until I got it. So I'm gonna go over everything I've done to it so far to let you know, and you can kind of see the progress, and hopefully in a week or two, hopefully I'll be able to get this up and going and riding. So it just depends how the weather is and how hot my garage is that allows me to get out there. But let's take a closer look. So here's the bike, and as you can see, it's a beautiful example of the Motobecane Moby. It's a 49, I believe, cc engine. It has it still has everything. It's got the chrome fenders. It has the long seat here. Here you can see my gold one sitting with a bunch of parts that will be going for this one. I also have this one that I picked up. This was in much worse condition than this one, and so I'll be eventually selling this one because I only need two, but I may need something off of this. I haven't taken anything off of this one for the one I'm currently working on right now because I think this is a much more complete bike. But I have it anyway, just as in the back, and also if I'm restoring something, sometimes it's nice to see what it's supposed to be just in case I mess up or I can't figure out where this piece or something goes. So as you can see, this was last tagged in 1981. Again, it's a 78, and that's probably when she stopped riding, probably a couple years after this. So the first thing I've done, obviously, is just cleaned everything off. But the big thing I did was I got brand new tires in the back and brand new tires in the front. And look at those knobbies just popping out there. It's really nice. What I did for the axle was really bent, and actually the cone inside there had been gnarled so bad that it actually had failure of the metal. Finding an axle for these is very difficult. I was thinking I'd have to use the other bike to get to it, but I didn't because on eBay a guy was selling some Moby parts. He had bought I guess an ex-mechanic spare parts or something, and I asked if he happened to have an axle because it takes a special 11 centimeter axle, I think, on this one, and sure enough, he had one. So I was able to buy the whole setup. I redid the whole thing, put in new bearings. Also has brand new brakes. I put those in also in the front and in the back. So I cleaned it all up. Again, I'm not going for a show quality. I just want it cleaned. So I cleaned everything up. Put brand new tubes, a new tape around them, and also new tires. Putting tires on a moped is one of the toughest things you can do. It is so difficult compared to a bicycle. But I was able to get this one put on, back on. The brake's not hooked up yet, but there's your brake. And then on the back, I took the whole thing apart, cleaned it up, new brakes, new tire. I did have an issue when I was putting the tire on that I had somehow punctured the tube. So I had to redo this tire twice, and I even thought about taking it to a motorcycle shop because they have the that pneumatic one, but I did it myself, and I was able to I had an extra tube, so I was able to change the tube, and now it's holding air great. So it has a brand new tire in the front and the back. I haven't touched the motor yet. This is going to be my next thing. It still has the original carb on it, and I do have a replacement, the Italian, to put on there when I actually get to it. But as you can see, it still has this cover on it. These still had the little metal pieces on it. It still has the original tire air pump on it. So the first thing I did on this actually, and I did this last year before winter hit in, I drained the old gas and I used the rust inhibitor thingy that clears up the rust. I forget what it's called. So this has completely been redone, cleaned out, and filled up. And then I also put in a brand new tubing for that. But I discovered that I had a big leak over the winter of the original petcock. Had somehow cracked somewhere in there. So, because I came out and it just reeked like gas, and this was the culprit. So I had to drain all the gas again. I was able to buy, obviously they don't sell the exact same one, but this is a nice one and it fits nicely because you have to worry about it fitting here. So I replaced this, has the tubing, and then I also put in a filter here because the original did not have a filter. It was just a straight tube. Just most recently, I took this whole thing off. And you can hear how smooth that is now. I took the whole thing off, cleaned it all up, re-greased everything. Right now, so you can change from bicycle to motorbike. So that's all ready to go, and you can hear how just smooth that is. That's really nice. Got this all cleaned up a little bit too, just from caked on grime. I haven't hooked up the chain yet. I may try to start this as is, but I do have a replacement cylinder and fins here for the bottom end. I can rebuild all that. I have all that if I need to. And the top is still good. And I don't know if I replaced the spark plug. I don't remember if I did that last year or not. I have a new belt. This is the old belt. Not that it's bad, but might as well put a new belt on it. I have it. I ordered everything from Treatland. If you need anything, get it from Treatland. They have pretty much everything for this bike. I also have handlebars, grips that I ordered. This is still the original, but this one was replaced with this thing. Obviously, this gets way more use because it's always being that. And of course, on this bike, you can see it's got 2,500 miles on it. So we'll see how the motor is. It may be fine just to go for a ride or two, nothing crazy, but I do have all the parts. Like I ordered the tires, and then of course last year they had like a tire shortage, so I was able to get enough tires for this, and then I still have to replace the tires. I haven't done it yet on my gold or my copper bike, but I do have to go. I have that. This is an actual rebuild for the motor if I need it, plus all the gaskets, cabling, and spark plug down here. And there should be a various other little parts. This was the for the speedometer, but it was actually for this bike. I was going to do all the bikes, but I may not go to the effort of redoing this one. I'll just maybe just sell this with the parts for the next guy. He can put that together. But I just kind of want to give you an update of where I am so far, and hopefully where I'll be in a couple weeks once this is up and going. But they're so fun to ride. I don't know if you've ever not been on a moped, you really should get on one. They're so fun, especially these vintage ones, because you're just stepping back and it's just, I don't know, I just love it. But 78 Motobecane Moby. I hope you enjoyed kind of this update on what I've done to it. I'd love to hear kind of what, if you're working on one too, because French mopeds kind of have their own little group, I guess, because they're so, you know, the Peugeots and the Motobecanes, and they have their own little thing as opposed to like the German or the Austrian bikes. They're different. They're completely different. Everything's designed different, different tools, different everything. But I've had really good success with the first one I did, and I love it. And I'm hoping that I'm gonna have some really good success with this one also. And the one thing is, I'll probably be driving this one myself because this color matches my helmet. It's just the helmet was on sale with a certain color and I got it and I liked it, but it's a different color than the bike. But my helmet matches this color, so it'd be kind of fun to have a matching look, I guess. But I'll see you on the next one. Please subscribe, comment, like, do all that stuff, and stay tuned because maybe in a couple weeks I'll be able to do an update and show you this actually running.